I've been fascinated by the recent political changes that take, Brexit, Donald Trump, the rise of right-wing groups in Europe, and the role of social media, and sort of been reading around that. I've discovered that social media is quite old. The Romans had this system of, they would pin up the minutes of the forum discussion every morning, the minutes of the previous day, and people would come along and copy them and send them. And they send them to someone who would then read them, copy them, change them, send them on, and they went round, and it was really like Facebook or whatever, like email. They were sending these texts around, changing them, changing their opinions, etc. And, there's been all sorts of things like hacking has taken place. There was a book written in the 19th century in England called Love on the Wire, and it was about two telegraph operators who started an affair with each other across the wire, the telegraph, and one message that one of the telegraph people sent was, "What can you describe how you see me?" And some other telegraph operator managed to hack into the thing and said, "You look like a hippopotamus." And so there's
At least it wasn't a lazy telegraph operator, because hippopotamus is quite a long word to tap out.
That's true, actually.
Oh,
Yes, exactly.
And there was an introduction, a demonstration of radio in London, and someone set up a little transmitter down the road and broke into the exposition of the radio. So there's nothing really new under the sun, and a lot of people have been quite anxious about the change in social media, the death of the newspaper, and a large number of newspapers, like Fairfax, Murdoch, whoever, have been systematically analysing what's happening to the paper media and trying to work out some way of retaining their profits and retaining their ideological hold, etc., etc. And so they do these systematic analysis, and one analysis was carried out by the Times newspaper in England, and it goes back quite a few hundred years, and they noticed that there's this one place in Siberia that has been ordering the Times ever since it was first published way back when. And this place, they started off by getting the newspaper sent to them, but when the airmail edition was introduced in the 20th century, they became airmail edition subscribers, and it's only one person in the whole of Siberia was there. So they decided to find out what was going on with this person. What's going on? Why was he? So they found the person who subscribed to the airmail edition, which, by the way, is very light paper. It's incredibly light. And they found this old gentleman in a cottage, and he had these piles of the airmail edition neatly stacked. And they asked him, about his life and all that, and they said, "Well, why do you have the airmail edition?" He says, "Well, it's the softest paper,